In my thesis, I discussed the powerful tool of language and how it was manipulated by the Nazi regime to gain consent, power and control. Understanding how such a totalitarian regime came to power is crucial. The period between the two world wars was marked by significant political and social upheavals in Europe, leaving Germany in a severe economic crisis and the German people frustrated with the need for redemption. Hitler, a skilled orator, exploited these elements to seize power and assume full control of the government with the National Socialist Party in 1933. He utilized these powers to enforce a regime of terror and oppression until his death in April 1945. During the Nazi regime, linguistic manipulation reached extreme levels. Hitler and the National Socialist Party utilized propaganda and language distortion to create an alternative reality and justify their oppressive policies. The LTI, or Lingua Terzi Imperi, as philologist Victor Kemperer termed it, was characterized by deliberate simplification and rigid control, aiming to shape the thoughts and perceptions of populace, while limiting critical thinking and doubt. This often involved altering the meaning of words to align with Nazi ideology. The LTI was essential and impoverished, aiming to minimize the possibility of misinterpretation or criticism, transforming individuals into mere pawns in the Nazi mosaic. The LTI was not just a collection of words, but a form of art and propaganda permeating Germany's society. It was evident in the imposing architecture of the regime, symbols of Nazi power and grandeur, as well as in propaganda posters that conveyed the message of regime supremacy. Furthermore, SS and SAI soldiers, with their uniform and strict discipline, embodied the Nazi ideal, influencing the aspiration of the population and serving as models to emulate. Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf, also known as the Bible of National Socialism, is not merely a political text, but represents a poignant example of Nazi rhetoric and language. Written in straightforward and unnuanced language, the book employs a series of key terms to underscore the division between supporters and opponents of the Nazi movement. The lexicon employed is characterized by implicit violence, with words and phrases evoking images of conflict and struggle. The repetition of fundamental concepts emphasizes the centrality of ideas such as the superiority as Aryan race and necessity to eliminate undesirable elements from society. Furthermore, the book serves as a tool of Nazi propaganda, justifying the party's action and presenting National Socialism as the only possible future for Germany. Dissenters are depicted as enemies of the nation, obstacles to progress, and impediments to the realization of the German people's supreme destiny. Important to discuss also about Alfred Rosenberg, one of the key ideologies of National Socialism, whose thinking significantly contributed to the formation of ideologies prompted by Hitler and the Nazi regime. Rosenberg's essays, "The Myth of the 20th Century", elaborated racist and anti-Semitic concepts that resonated with the regime policies. His theory emphasized the necessity of preserving the purity of the Aryan race to ensure the success of civilization. Nazi propaganda exploited these ideas to justify discrimination against Jews and other ethnic minorities. In Italy, too, the fascist regime under Mussolini manipulated language to consolidate its power and suppress opposition. Control of the press and censorship were just some of the means through which the regime exerted its linguistic dominance. Mussolini employed nationalist and authoritarian rhetoric to deceive the masses and build his cult of personality. Language became a tool of exclusion and discrimination, fueling hatred towards anyone daring to dissent. It's due to events like this, which tend to repeat through history, that it's important to understand the power of words and commit ourselves to defending truth and linguistic freedom. It's due to events like this, which tend to repeat through history, that it's important to understand the power of words and commit ourselves to defending truth and linguistic freedom.